In a world in crisis, can three idiots find hope in the darkest of places? Will love conquer all, or will hate win out in the end? This is a show called Hate.
Hello and welcome to A Show Called Hate, a podcast in which we explore love, hate, and everything in between in search of, oh my god, I almost forgot it, greater meaning and perhaps a little perspective. I'm John.
I'm Nick. And he's not here.
I know, yeah, so,
I thought that the listener would hear your catastrophic fuck up that you just made then and be like, oh, Chris Ray up to his usual hijinks. But he's not here.
I know. I bet they were thinking, oh god, poor John. Chris
Yes.
Ray's going to give him quite a talking to.
Everyone
you
is,
know.
I think, listener-wise, they're very much on your side. Like
yeah.
he's the big villain of the piece.
Yeah.
And he plays the part very well.
I know he does, like effortlessly, some might say. Yeah,
Too well.
yeah. It's very easy to sympathise with a character who's been so obviously victimised over
Yes.
the course of
Exactly.
107
and I'm
episodes
sure
or
at
whatever.
that moment, like you said, at that moment at the beginning of the intro, they're like, oh no, Chris is terrorising John again. I sure hope he's okay, thought everyone. But it wasn't. It was just your incompetence.
I'm actually. The terrifying reality is, what if he's like my kind of emotional support dog, and I can't function unless he's in the
Oh,
room?
that's why you fucked up.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
gotten so used to him.
I thought you were going to say that he was like your Joker to your Batman, and that you, in a way, you needed him, as Joker likes to sometimes say. Not 100% sure I buy into this perspective that the Joker has, but I don't buy into a lot of the Joker's perspectives, if I'm honest.
He's
But-
he's quite often like, "You need me." It's like, no,
No, I don't.
no, I don't.
But
Why?
like, but he doesn't. need
Yeah,
him. Like
no.
it's bad. It's a bad idea, Joker.
Yeah, I don't really. There's not really like a. Is there like a complete opposite of the word need? It's not like don't need. It's like you're actively making my life worse.
Yeah. Don't need is just back to neutral. We need to go deep into the positive.
Yeah.
We need to go the other way.
I'm feeling. What's that word? The opposite of shame. Pride? No, that's not it. Less shame? Yes, that's
Yes,
what.
that's the
yeah.
one.
So yeah, he's not here,
No.
and I think if I recall, his exact words were, "It's because I don't care about you, the podcast, or anything we've ever accomplished together."
I think he said, and especially the fans. I think he said,
Yeah.
yeah, they've driven me away, but I don't care. I'm doing it to spite them.
And
Something
I
like
seem-
that.
And as I recall, he then turned and walked away into the rain.
Yeah.
And he kind of tore off his official Show Called Hate T-shirt,
Which we all recorded, by the way.
and then he took a cheese grater to his official A Show Called Hate tattoo.
Yes, which is sacrilege as far as I'm
And
concerned.
I'm amazed he could walk while sanding his butt cheek, but
We've all got it.
I know.
We all had to have it before we started the podcast.
yeah. But no, he just had better things to do,
As is usually the case.
as is usually the case, and he
I
did.
do feel as though Chris Ray's absences from the show highlight our utter lack of a social life. Because it's always him, and we're always here. We're always
Yeah.
like. There's been a handful of times that I think there's been one time you weren't on the show.
Yes.
I think that's only one time.
I think I was literally on the other side of the planet as well.
Yeah, it's not much of an excuse, I know.
Yeah.
And then I've been off a couple of times.
Yes.
One time I was also on the other side of the planet, I believe.
Yes.
But I think Chris Ray, without hyperbole, has been off the show considerably more
Yes.
than we have.
And I genuinely, and naively, of course, felt this was like a failing on his part. I felt that quite intensely.
I feel it
actually.
very strongly.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it now.
Kind of like a failing as a presenter, but also maybe like as a person.
Yeah.
Morally.
When you say presenter, it makes me think of like Blue Peter or something.
Yeah.
And it's like Blue Peter would not tolerate this sort of shit.
No.
Do you know what I mean? If a presenter didn't show up for an episode of Blue Peter, they're not only fired. I think something much worse would probably happen.
Chris Evans.
Okay, radio Chris.
Yeah, there's two Chris Evans in the world. One,
Probably as far as the greater world goes, there's only one Chris Evans. But as far as the UK goes, yeah, there's two Chris Evans.
There's two Chris Evans in the world. There's Hi, I'm Chris Evans, and I play Captain America on
And
screen.
I can see you're swooning because of how gorgeous I am.
And I'm
That's
just,
Chris Evans.
I'm just like a big, nice lunk, and
Yes.
nobody has any issues with me at all. And then there's like...
And you never will.
You never will. And then there's Chris Evans, the UK personality.
Yeah, when younger, controversial DJ
Yes.
and TV presenter.
He was an unlikely...
Yeah.
Because he
He was
looked...
one of those.
I realise I'm saying this, but he looked like a nerd.
Yes.
You know, like a proper
But
nerd.
he completely wasn't as well. Like, he was kind of like a bit alternative and a bit like foul-mouthed and a bit kind of like...
Walking the line.
Yeah.
Walking the line.
Controversial.
Not quite like American shock jock
No.
kind of thing. Not quite like a Howard Stern, but a bit cheeky a little
But
bit.
it's sort of the British equivalent, which is a bit cheeky to maybe a, ooh, that was a bit close. Ooh,
you know.
shouldn't have said that.
It's like, you know, if the Queen was opening a new radio studio,
Yes.
he'd bow, but then he'd pull a funny face afterwards. You know,
Yeah.
that kind of, that's about as far.
Or he'd bow,
yeah.
but he'd have a silly hat on.
Yes.
That maybe when he bowed would reveal like a little, like his face again, but on top of his head.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
would be him like, I don't know, like sticking his tongue
And the
out.
broadsheets would have a field day.
Oh, they would hate. In fact, I think they did hate him, if I remember rightly.
Anyway, the reason I bring him up is because you talk about like just not turning up to present Blue Peter.
Oh.
But when he had his Radio 1 breakfast show.
Sure, I think so, yeah.
And let's just put it out there, like doing a proper professional breakfast radio show is hard work.
Oh, yeah.
Like you do have to be up at like 4 a.m. like every day.
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. But apparently he talks some story about how primetime, like he's the most popular presenter, the show's doing great
Yeah,
guns.
it's the highest paid radio on Radio 1 radio position, I think, breakfast.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a big deal. And they did like there was some like party in London. I think it was maybe like a vaguely like radio related
yeah.
party. So there's a big soiree.
Yeah.
But obviously like all the breakfast presenters couldn't be out late partying.
Had to
because
leave
they-
early.
They had to leave early.
Mm.
Or if they're going to party late, they're still going to have to get up early.
Or just don't go to bed.
Yeah.
Mm.
But anyway, so they were all staying in some fancy hotel.
Of course.
And he is kind of like the boss, but not the... You know what I mean? Like he's
Yeah.
he's not in charge. They report to a manager, but
Yeah.
like he's kind of
He's
in
the boss of
charge.
his show in a way, like, because
Yeah.
he's the biggest personality.
But he basically said to everyone, "Wouldn't it be really funny if we just didn't go in tomorrow?"
Oh my God.
And they didn't.
And what happened?
He got sacked.
And in retrospect, Chris, was it funny?
Yeah. It's weird to hear him talk about that because he's like,
Yeah. Is that how he lost the gig then?
Yeah. But then he came back years later doing like the drive time slot as like older, wiser.
That's a kind of annoying thing as well, though, isn't it? It's like there aren't really any consequences. It's like Jeremy Clarkson punches someone in the face. And the BBC's like, yeah, but he does make quite a lot of money for us.
But that's when he, but he did kind of jump ship, didn't he? Because he went
This
to
is
like
the thing.
Amazon, didn't he?
Yeah, but now he's like, I think he's back, or at least he's.
Is he?
Well, he did some
maybe.
presenting on some of the other, I think BBC Two or
Yeah.
something. Like, it's like they just have to. They have to have them back, and I don't understand why. Why can't you just go? No, he's an ass. Like, let's just move on.
It's kind of becoming a little sad because like we've got one of them. What do you call it? Like Amazon Fire Sticks.
Yes.
In the side of our TV.
It's just a match, isn't
Jeff Bezos descended from a cloud and shot it into
His little bow and arrow.
the side of our monitor. And of course, like it's all the Clarkson products
course,
right
yeah.
now are like
All
on
the Clarkson
Amazon.
products.
And so occasionally you just like turn on the Fire Stick and you just get like a promotional thumbnail.
Gammon. A promo gammon.
And it's just like the latest product. And they can't call it Top Gear.
No,
So it's never called...
it's called like the Grand Tour or something, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think?
Or they'll do like an event.
Right.
And it's called like Ham Run or something like that, you know. the Hammond Ball Run.
Slamming with gammons.
And they're just looking...
Sit down for Pork Talk with me, Jeremy Clarkson.
They're just looking so
Oh, they are.
creased
Tired,
now.
like leathery bags that are
Yeah.
just like becoming increasingly irrelevant in the world and yet hanging on with like cuticles and teeth just hanging on to the very edge of relevance,
Yeah.
just to stay on telly. And the thing is, let's be honest, he doesn't need the money.
Yeah.
He's probably got all the money, but he wants to be, doesn't he? He wants to be that face that appears whenever you power up your Fire Stick. He wants that.
It's kind of weird that he's like, he looks like a straight elbow. You know what I mean? Like if you go, like you look at like those craggly bits on the back of your arms.
I'm
like,
looking now, and actually,
oh, it's Jeremy Clarkson.
I kind of don't like how much it looks like him.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was just thinking, like, of the 3 Top Gear kind of guys.
Yeah.
Because they had that gig for like 10,
Yeah.
15 years. It went for ages.
Yeah.
I was in secondary school when they started doing that
Yeah,
shtick.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
But like, James May was always like the nice...
The lovable granddad.
Yeah, he was like, oh, the nice one.
Yeah.
You know, like no one had an issue with James May. And I liked James May, and
Sure.
maybe he's still fine. I don't know.
Who knows?
But like, I remember him telling. He tells some story about how he was working on like Car magazine.
Yeah, it's called that, I think.
Yeah, Britain's leading car magazine.
It's actually called that. It's weird.
And apparently he did like, as he tells it, he did like a feature
Right.
where it was like, I don't know, the 50 greatest cars, I don't know, or something like that. So he did like a page feature. It was a big feature in the magazine, and there was a page dedicated to every car.
Oh, right, wow.
But every page, something like, as he tells it, had like, you know that thing where like monks would do it in ancient books, where like the first letter on a page,
It's like illustrated.
yeah, would be blown up.
Yeah.
So it's always like, you know, the first letter, it's not quite illustrated, but it's like
Yeah.
50 times bigger.
Yeah, it's weird, but yeah.
But basically, people worked out that if you took the first letter of every article,
Yeah.
it was an anagram, and it if you rearranged it, it spelled out, if you think you're clever for solving this, just imagine how hard it was to actually design it.
That's really good.
And I was like, that's quite clever.
Yeah.
And then as to tell the story, he goes like, and then when people wrote in thinking they'd won a prize for discovering it, I got fired.
What?
That's the story. He's always told it.
Right, okay.
But then I was thinking about it. It's like recently. I don't know why, but I was thinking like, that wouldn't get you fired.
Surely not.
And I was like, is that a lie? I was just thinking to myself, is that a lie, James?
James May lying to us.
Did you get fired for another reason?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine that, like, you could get pulled up in front of your editor or whatever of the magazine you work for, and he'd be like, you're hiding secret messages in articles that you're writing for us.
Yeah.
That's really not cool.
Yeah.
But surely, like, the message that he left wasn't like, you know, fuck you, editor-in-chief.
Yeah, it was really benign.
Yeah, exactly. And so it'd be like, I can imagine him getting disciplined or a warning for it, because it's like, you know, if we let that behaviour go unchecked, who knows what you're going to write next time, you know. But then in the same vein, like, it's not that. Yeah, it's not believable that you get fired for it straight off the bat. So yeah, what are you covering, James?
Because we were talking about experiences earlier where I was moments in our lives where you've kind of been talking to someone and then suddenly, I'm very slow at this. I'm really slow realizing it, but just moments where you suddenly go like, this is a lie.
You're lying, aren't
This
you?
isn't true.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm bad at this as well,
Yeah.
because I tend to just like, I take everything I'm said at face value. You know, it's just like, oh, he can't be lying. That must be the truth. You know,
Yeah.
and it isn't until much later that someone will go, "You idiot! You gullible chungus! Like that was obviously a lie." And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess it kind of was.
It's like, I think I may have mentioned it on a previous episode not that long ago. But as a kid, I was like, I had a transformer and I took it to school. And then that transformer disappeared. And a kid told me, he was like, I think it fell down the drain. And then the next day he was like, yeah, I was walking home and I looked down the drain and I saw it flowing past. I was like, it definitely fell down a drain and then swept down the hill. And I was like, that's probably what happened.
Yeah,
and I was
probably.
quite.
He wouldn't lie.
And I was like 35 years old when I realised he stole that.
He stole that. Son of a bitch.
I was doing my accounts or something. I was like, he stole that fucking transformer. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, the boldness of that though. That's what I love about the boldness of kids' lies, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just like, I saw it float. He didn't have to say a second lie. You know, his first lie, which was, I reckon it probably fell down the drain. That was enough.
Yeah.
You'd have accepted that. You did accept that.
But if you're like 6 years old, it's like, I've only met like 10 people
Yeah,
at that age.
maybe less.
Yeah, maybe less. You know, I live in a very small village. And so it's like, I've never met anyone who's lied once, let alone twice.
Exactly.
Like, that boy lied twice.
Especially to you.
I know.
Well,
It
of
must
all
be
people.
true. It must be true.
Oh, it must be. Yeah.
I do worry that sometimes I'm a very trusting person.
Yeah. I worry that I'm too trusting. Yeah.
I feel I'm very No. I like to tell myself I'm quite savvy. I'm quite.
I think we all like to tell ourselves.
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, oh no, nothing gets past me.
Yeah.
And then when I kind of do like the tallying up of my life, I'm like, actually, a lot gets past me.
More things got past than I caught.
I'm very clueless. Yeah.
I'm an idiot.
when Chris Ray and I went on our Great British tour around the UK.
Yeah.
Or I think we did. I keep forgetting.
That could be a lie. Are you lying to me right
No.
now? It sounds like a lie.
No, it's real.
Sure.
No, it must have happened because
Yeah.
I drew on a map in the back of an Ordnance Survey book.
I certainly think when you say no, it's real, that really helps.
No,
me to
it's
believe.
real.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's real.
no.
Yeah, it's real.
But no, when at one point we were on our Great British tour, we landed in Liverpool
Landed.
and we went out drinking in Liverpool.
Nice. I've never been
And-
to Liverpool.
And we were walking around Liverpool, and I can't remember any of this because we were drinking. But like, there were two girls outside a club, and they were like, "Oh, you guys, hey, how you doing? Having a good night?" I was like, "Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. You should totally come in here and have a drink." I was like, "Yeah, it seems nice. Yeah, why not?"
Yeah.
And we went in, and then I was like chatting to Chris Ray. I was like, "That was very nice of him, wasn't it?" And Chris Ray was like, "They lured us in here to buy alcohol. We're like the only people in this club." And I was like, "Oh, yeah."
I see.
I was like, "Well, why didn't you go along with this?" He's like, "Well, I wanted to drink." So he knew the ways of the world.
Yeah, but he still does it.
Yeah.
He still does the thing.
Are we like? Is this going to be like the kind of the Aesop's fable, the kind of like Charles Dickens event in our life where we go like, we're going to realise over the course of this show that we actually need him and miss him terribly?
No.
No.
No. He's been absent from the show multiple times, and I've never learned any sort of lesson from his absence, and I refuse to.
No. Or his presence, oddly enough.
Indeed.
No.
Yeah, if anything, I learn less when he's here.
Maybe the moments in which you truly appreciate Chris Ray are just when he's arriving and just when he's leaving.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, when he's been here a while.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, like, we've actually created a homunculus at the side of the table to replace him, which is a pot of polyfiller.
It looks a lot like him. Actually.
I know,
Yeah.
imbued with many of the same qualities.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, I was fixing a hole in the ceiling the other day,
Oh, okay.
and I left my tools in
Yes.
the podcast studio.
Very unprofessional,
Yeah.
if I'm honest. But it does make me feel a little bit like he's here.
Yeah,
The nameless one.
No,
The one
indeed.
who shall not be named.
I feel
Which
like
I
I'm
get.
sharing too many anecdotes.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, one of them you've already shared on the show before.
I know.
so-
That doesn't make it better.
I was desperately trying to think when you were sharing that Transformers stealing anecdote. I was desperately trying to think of one because I feel like I've been like lied to, and I'm ashamed to admit it. But I can't recall a single occurrence.
Yeah.
Frustratingly, but I'm pretty sure it's happened. But maybe I'm lying.
We could just dive into the episode and try and hope that, like,
Sure.
the rigid format of our show just saves us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've always hoped for that, but
Hasn't happened yet. One day.
we should mention before though
Oh, you're right. Yes.
that we have seen Sonic 2,
Yes, we have.
but we didn't want to discuss it without Chris.
This was going to be.
This was going to be the hugest, most epic debrief
Yes.
of the most significant cinematic event of the year.
Yes.
But then he did what he does best. So
So
it's coming.
it's coming.
I know you are all like hanging on the edge of your own asses to hear what we have to say about that movie. I'm not gonna give you any advance sneak peeks, but it's coming.
It's coming. It's
We're
going to happen.
gonna do a bonus episode, something like maybe hopefully midweek or something.
Yes.
So it's gonna sit between this episode and the next canon episode.
Yes. Chris Ray is apologetic.
He's ruined everything.
He's ruined everything. Yeah. But he has apologised.
kind of.
Not. I mean. Well.
Yeah.
Kind
He's
of.
apologised to us.
Kind of. Certainly not to you.
Certainly,
the,
and he
the
won't.
listener.
Don't
No,
expect
and he
it.
won't.
Don't expect it.
But we're gonna chain him down.
Yep.
Next week, and
Doesn't
we're,
have a
and we're
choice.
going to talk about Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and then we're all going to get on with our lives.
Yeah.
And you'll get a bonus episode with extra Chris Ray.
It's win. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's win-win, but it's kind of win-lose because you get the extra Chris Ray, so it kind of balances out to a zero
Yeah.
in a way. But I just wanted to say it now because I know you're probably all thinking, "Hey, Sonic 2's been out in the cinema for a long time, and those show called Hey Guys haven't talked about
Hey,
it."
now, what's the elephant in the room?
Yeah. What's the big fox in the room? Well, let me tell you, it's coming. It's coming. Don't worry.
We have some big foxes to give.
I don't give a fox. I've got Hey.
Yeah. Please save us.
So I'm on TikTok, as we've talked about before.
We can say a drug of some variety.
I'm on Ventolin inhalers, and I need them to breathe. But I hate them. No, I'm on TikTok.
Okay.
And I like it, but it is probably the single greatest source for hates that I've ever encountered. Because I know quite a few of my past hates have come from TikTok. And
It's nice that we're finally weaning ourselves off YouTube
yeah,
as a source of hate.
I feel like all I've done though is move on to a faster form of YouTube. like Vine was ahead of its time because
It was, yeah.
Vine is next. TikTok's gonna be 3 minutes long max. Right?
Yeah.
So the next big format is going to be like, I don't know, a 30-second format, and that's going to be in like 10 years' time.
It'll be Vine 2.
Yeah,
It's back.
and then we'll get Vine, and then it'll finally be time for Vine with its 7 seconds. It'll be finally its time.
Why isn't like Vine just coming back?
I heard that it was.
Like, why wouldn't it? Someone's got to own Vine.
I think the problem is that a lot of the Viners and a lot of the kind of stuff that you'd make on Vine is now being made on TikTok. Because it is kind of the perfect place for these little sketches.
Were Vines always 7 seconds, or did they start
they
out
were.
at 6 and then got
added
plus
one.
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. I only ever knew it to be 7 seconds.
Sure.
I didn't actually know that it ever was any shorter or longer. I'm pretty sure it was locked at that, which is wildly short when you think about it.
Yeah.
The fact that they were able to do anywhere near as much as they could with that time is
Vine
insane.
was kind of beautiful, actually. I miss it.
We didn't deserve it.
But sorry, you were saying TikTok.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say it. Eating out of a toilet. I've had 2 TikToks now where, and I think
it's a genre, isn't it?
I think it might be.
Yeah.
I think both of them were the same person, so I don't know whether the trend has actually kicked off yet, right? but the way it goes is the scene opens, right, and we're in a bathroom. We're in a person's. It looks like a real bathroom. I have to believe it's not. Okay, I'm putting my hands on my head right now. I know you can't see this, listeners, but like I'm exasperated.
This can't be real. Yeah,
It can't be real from what I'm about to explain,
Yeah.
right? But it looks like a real bathroom. But the toilet is, I would say, cleaner than any toilet in any person's house ever. I'm not putting anyone on blast, but go home, look at your toilet, and tell me whether you'd eat out of it.
check out your personal brand.
It could be as clean as you claim.
Yeah.
You'd not eat out of it, I swear to
Yeah.
God. This toilet looks like brand new, but it does look like a real bathroom. And it starts, and she's already piling ingredients into the toilet bowl. Right.
Wait.
Yeah, ingredients. So I think she has in some way, not plugged, but like put a layer of something in the bottom of the toilet bowl, right?
Well, I mean, we've all plugged a toilet. I'm not necessarily
know.
going to eat off it
Well,
afterwards. Yeah.
maybe that's the solution. I don't know. So she's put some sort, let's say a gauze, I don't know, something down to prevent it, right? And she's pouring jelly beans in, right? She's pouring glassy cherries in. She's pouring dolly mixtures. She's pouring all sorts of
A lot of
sweets.
sweets, I'm noticing.
Yeah, so this first one was sweet oriented, right?
Oh.
And then, and so the bowl starts to fill up, and it's got fizzy cola bottles, and it's got chocolate raisins, and it's got all sorts of. And it's just this like cocktail of sweets, right? And then she's like, and it's constantly filmed in this way, like it's kind of like Fly on the Wall, and she's like talking to the camera, and she's just like this guy has just walked in, and she was just doing this, like this is just what she does.
Wait, sorry, could you describe the camera angle?
It's drunk / unsteady. It's wild. It's like we're trying to lean on the fact that this is very like he's just stumbled in on her and she's doing this and she's kind of coy and embarrassed, like, oh, you caught me in the middle of this. Oh well, no worries, I'll just keep going. And she starts describing what she's putting in the toilet and everything. And then she lifts the lid of the cistern, right, the back of the toilet, and it's empty. There's no water in there for some reason. And she just picks from nowhere a bottle of what looks like Cherryade, right, and just pours that into the cistern. I think she does a couple more in like fast motion kind of. So the cistern is completely filled with red, fizzy, sugary drink, right? Puts the lid back on the cistern, and then she goes, and here's the magical moment, and she flushes the toilet. And of course, Cherryade comes flushing into the bowl where all the sweets are and starts to swirl all the sweets up in Cherryade, right? And then she goes, look, there it goes. It's turning. This is it. This is the magic. And then she gets a straw out and a spoon. She jams the straw in, takes a sip from the toilet, and then digs a spoon in and starts chowing down on the toilet meal that she's made. the sweet toilet meal she made that I wish she hadn't.
This is
and it's like
This is quite distressing.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And it's kind of presented like,
I don't like this.
like, why don't you do that? You know, that's kind of how it's presented. Like, hey, look at this fun toilet hack that you could do. But then there's a second one, right? And she does a second toilet meal, and this one, she does loads of chocolate and brownies and cookies and marshmallows.
Oh, you've got to go for the browns and the blacks.
You've got it, because the toilet is used to those colours, man. And then she puts some squirty cream on top. Then she lifts the cistern again. Sure enough, no liquid in it. Milk goes in this time. Milk goes in the cistern, John. Chug-a-lug-a-lug-a-lug. 4 pints of milk into the cistern. Flush. Milk comes out of the flush zone. What? And now the chocolatey cookies and brownies and everything, that all starts swilling up.
Oh, it's a big mess.
Yeah, but
it's a big, impractical mess.
But how delicious does it look? I would say not very. Again, spoon, straw, get involved. Although weirdly, the video always cuts just as she puts her mouth to the straw. But we don't actually see her intake.
Yeah, you don't see her.
Interesting. Conspiracy? I think so. So 2, I think, makes a series. I think that is now a series of videos on TikTok.
When you originally said she made like a sweet meal, and I was like, oh no, this is a series. I was thinking like there's going to be a savoury dish. There's going to be a
yeah, it's gravy, isn't it?
yeah. She's going to put like a rotisserie chicken in the pan.
Yeah,
and she's going to flush a
load of I don't know, Bisto
brothy,
Best.
yeah, like a kind of bisque, you know.
Oh, the beauty is that she could I guess she'd need it to be hot water.
Yeah.
But I was going to say you could just upend the gravy granules into the cistern and bam, you've got gravy.
The beauty is that she's on the other side of a screen and theoretically can't find us. I feel safer.
Here's my question. How many people have tried this post her video? Because it had thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of views and likes. And like I said, her toilet seemed pretty clean.
Did she? I don't TikTok.
No.
So my question is, when you view a TikTok, can you automatically see the name of the channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it called Toilet Surprise?
Well, this is the thing, right? Because when I saw the second video, I was like, "Oh, is this a trend then?"
Yeah.
So I went on her page, and she'd only done 2 toilet adventures, and everything else was just her clearly trying to find a viral sensation. It was just her fucking about, basically, just doing stupid stuff. And she's of course she's quite young, she's quite hot, you know, so she's got that going for her. So she's like, right, I need to find my thing that's going to elevate me.
Yeah.
I think she's found it. I think she's found it. It's toilet meal.
There's so much to unpack here.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, should we address the fact now that we both know it.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to say it.
Okay. Yeah.
A not insignificant portion of those likes.
Mm-hmm. You can say it. It's gonna be all right.
We're
Come on, John.
done. One-handed. One-handed.
With an obstructed keyboard.
Because the other hand
Was engaged. Otherwise engaged.
Furiously. Writing a letter to the local MP.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's a sex thing, isn't
there's
it?
got to be. There's got to be a sex element.
Yeah, somebody's.
I don't know how. I don't know how. Increasingly, I become aware of the fact that these things have to be a sex thing, right?
Yeah.
But because when you look at it on the surface, nothing sexy, nothing even sexual, other than the fact that I suppose a toilet could be construed to be sexual in some way. Her Even then, I wish I hadn't said that out loud. That's a shame, isn't it?
Yeah.
But some people see it that way, right? But isn't it weird that we're able to go, there feels like a sexual element to this, even though it's just eating glassed cherries and milk out of a toilet bowl?
And what's weird is I would have less of an issue with seeing somebody make passionate love to a toilet or somebody making passionate love to a big milky pile of brownies and Skittles.
I would guarantee probably that both of those things have been done.
I would have
on film.
Yeah. Now, everybody's got a thing.
Yeah.
Not trying to shame anybody.
No kink shaming here.
I would have no issue with people just dropping trowel, doing what God made them to do.
There's an honesty, isn't there?
There's an honesty to it.
Yeah.
Let's thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
Let's be honest about our things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's be forward. Put it at the front. Here, look at me.
You're an individual.
I'm into this thing.
Yeah.
I'm into this.
You're a free individual online and you want to fuck a toilet. Fine. Nobody here is going to judge you. Get your bits out. Have a great time.
Have a great time.
Do not care. It's what I do take issue with. It's for ones where it's hidden.
Yeah.
And you're like,
It's two or more layers removed.
Right.
You're doing the same thing.
Writing's on the wall here.
Yeah.
Like,
you are still kind of fucking that toilet.
yeah, we're now, and now we're all engaged. In this tryst, we're all part of this now.
Yeah, because that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like if it was just me watching someone fuck a toilet,
Yeah.
I'd feel like disconnected from that. I'd be
Yes.
like, here's a person doing what they love. Here's a person showing me their hobby, but I'm not involved in any way. But the instant you start talking to camera and start sort of encouraging me to do this to my toilet, and on top of that, force me to kind of try and unravel it like it's some sort of like mystery,
Yeah.
then I'm now part of it. I'm talking about it right now on a
Yeah.
podcast listened to by millions.
It's when you're, it's when you're like, I know this is sexual, but nobody's got their bits out and nobody appears to be having a good time.
No. Certainly not the
So
viewers.
why does it feel more sexual
Yeah.
than somebody just fucking a assistant?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. It's the dishonesty. It's inherently dishonest, John.
That's layer one.
Okay.
That's layer one. So everyone who's commenting going like, oh lol, this is so funny. Oh.
Yeah, I've got to say, I didn't look at the comments. That's something I should have done. isn't it? Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe I was safer here.
Okay, so that's layer one.
Okay.
Layer two is, God, it's hard to be popular online, isn't it? It's really hard to find a thing. When you're fundamentally untalented,
Yeah.
it's really, really hard to find a niche.
It is, and it's like
Yeah.
if I've dedicated my life right to drawing
Yeah.
and improving my art,
Yeah.
and also to some extent, some writing and other bits around that, right? But so if I was to ever try and pursue success or fame, dare I say it, I would probably try it in that vein because that's what I've dedicated my life to improving. Right?
Yeah.
But let's say you had nothing.
You got
Right?
nothing.
You are talentless. You don't even have an idea of something you like.
You're talentless, and yet you've already won the genetic lottery because
Yes.
you're conventionally attractive.
You look incredible.
You look great.
Yeah.
You're doing great.
So you think, okay, well, I could do anything with an attempt to go viral
Oh, yeah.
on TikTok. And it's like, well, I've got a pile of cabbages. There's a wind farm outside my house. I'm just going to drop kick cabbages into that wind turbine.
Such a great video idea.
And fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, you say it's such a great video idea. And it is. It's objectively a good video idea.
It's very good.
But it might not go viral.
Might not go viral.
So
It's
you've
a
got to
lot
try
of
something
effort,
else.
isn't it?
I don't think I could drop kick a cabbage high enough.
It's a lot of effort to go to something that nobody may see it.
Nobody may see it.
Yeah,
Everyone's
yeah.
got a toilet, though.
Everyone's got a toilet.
Except for some people, probably. But
So issue 2 is
okay.
it's very hard to be a hack and have nothing to offer,
Indeed.
but also want to be famous.
Yes.
Issue 3.
Here we go. Let's get deeper.
And I think this is one I've been really skirting around is, and while you were talking just then, I was kind of engaged, but I also really, really got a flash where just for a second, I appreciated the true horror of even pretending to drink milk out
I
of your
see.
toilet bowl.
Yeah.
And I kind of did just feel sick
Yep.
for a moment. So
I felt sick watching it, so that's fair.
this is really issue 3, and I feel this is kind of the big one. either a real toilet,
Mm-hmm.
and you've got to cut at the right moment, like you really have to cut,
Yeah.
or they have constructed the world's most elaborate, utterly sterile set. They've bought a brand new toilet.
But it has to, it would have to be a full bathroom because you didn't just see the toilet.
Yeah. They have...
Which means this is how hard they've gone.
Yeah.
And like going viral doesn't necessarily mean millionaire. Doesn't necessarily mean making any money at all. It just means you've got a certain amount of clout, I guess, which some people want, crave, whatever. But it's not going to pay for that bathroom set that you made.
Yeah.
Which won't be cheap because that
No.
toilet flushed as well, so it was plumbed. And that's another thing I don't understand because doesn't the system feed water in from the water supply?
Yeah.
So the instant she hits flush,
But as long as...
that milk's going to get mixed in with water.
Assuming it's a real toilet,
Okay, well that's a big assumption, isn't it, that I made there?
if it isn't a real toilet,
Well, then this is even more complicated.
you could fill the system with Cherry Aid,
Yeah.
and it would drain once, but then wouldn't refill
Or it would refill with water
if it's plumbed in.
if it's plumbed in. Yes, I
Yeah.
suppose you're right. You could just fill it with Cherry Aid because it's a mechanical system, isn't
Yeah.
it? So you can fill it with Cherry Aid, pull the lever, and it would empty the system once
Yeah.
of Cherry Aid. Okay, so let's say this then. So she bought a new toilet.
Yeah.
I think I could see a sink in the shot. So she bought a sink.
Yeah.
She made either a quarter of a room or a whole room and tiled it to create a very convincing looking bathroom.
Yeah. You're describing this now, and that seems like a lot of effort.
It sounds like something a crazy person would do.
It sounds like a lot of effort, particularly when she hasn't found her niche yet.
No, she doesn't
This
know
is the
whether
video
this...
that made her.
And like I said, I went on her other videos, and they were all random attempts at trying to find a viral video.
Yeah.
So, like, she knows how hard it is. She knows how hard it is to find
Yeah.
that gem.
So we have to assume, if she's a low-level channel, hasn't
Well,
really...
she was, not now.
Was, well.
Oh.
But that might be issue 4. Issue 3. So low-level channel, you got low effort,
Yep.
but high achievement. That's what you want.
Absolutely.
You do the toilet thing. You're not going to build a toilet. You don't know it's going to land.
No. I don't know how to build a toilet.
So we have to face the inescapable reality that this might be a real toilet,
This is it, isn't it?
and you've got to cut.
What is it? Who was it? Was it Sherlock Holmes who said, no, usually it's the most likely...
If you, let's eliminate every alternative.
I'm pretty sure word for word it was usually, mate, if it's the most likely thing, it's probably that. I think that's what the quote is.
Yeah.
Word for word. But yeah, the most likely explanation is usually the correct one. And that suggests, John, that she thought a good old clean of the toilet, good old bit of, just maybe 10 minutes,
We can only hope.
clean a toilet, that'll be all right.
I don't think they make bleach that is destructive enough to make me eat out of a toilet,
No.
unless it's a B&Q display toilet.
Yeah.
And I've got a raging chub.
Yeah. I don't think they make bleach delicious enough for me to want to.
If you're there and you're like, here's the toilet, Nick, or here's the bleach. You have a choice. Okay, point 4.
Point 4.
The arms race she's now found herself in.
She's ruined.
She's ruined.
Yeah.
A promising young thing.
Yeah.
You have signed your own death warrant.
She's got to go bigger now.
Yeah.
She's got to find a way to go bigger.
Yeah.
And is there any way to go bigger after that?
You can't stop. You want that fame. You wanted that fame so much that you ran the bristle brush under the rim.
Oh God. Oh.
You wadded
I nearly
toilet
gagged
paper.
then.
You wadded toilet paper in the bottom of your pan,
Yeah.
and then you filled it with sweeties
Mm-hmm.
for the children, Nick. And then you poured milk into the system. So where do you go from here? You can't stop now.
Well, for one, her toilet's clogged. Fact.
Yeah, that's true, isn't it? That's weird.
Yeah, she's not getting back from that.
People talk about like
It was right up to the seat.
brimming
Right
it,
up
yeah.
to the seat.
There's
Brilliant.
that joke, isn't it, about like, I want that toilet so clean I could eat my dinner out of it.
Yeah.
They never talk about plugging the toilet to make a
No.
kind of big bowl.
That's true.
Because then you've got a problem, haven't you? Because you've clogged your toilet.
If I dropped a dead jelly beans down my toilet now, they'd just go. They'd
Yeah.
just be gone.
Yeah.
I've just randomly remembered a weird thing where when I was a kid, we had some trouble with the toilets in our house. And we called a plumber out, and they had to like dig up the road and to get at the pipes
Because of what you did. Because of what you did.
because of what I made. No, the weird thing was it turned out to not be like it was affecting a few houses on the street, right?
Because
of what I did. No,
Okay, right,
no backup.
Yeah.
And it turned out that they dig up the main sewage pipe, and there was a duvet in it. And the plumbers were like, I don't know how this happened. And the only explanation they could come up with is that someone flushed a duvet. But it's like,
No,
that can't work, right?
If that's like your now that's the story as you remember it.
Yeah, I mean, I did do a massive dump that day. So.
But the story also is, and the story we're not seeing here, is that there's a young man who is on his first week on the job.
Right, yeah.
And he's partnered with an elderly, a wizened toilet repairman.
He's seen it all.
He's seen it all.
Or he thought so.
He's seen it all. Yeah. He lived through the fibre shortages of the early 70s. Like, he's seen it all.
Literally, he knows about the iron blockage. I was there. I saw the iron blockage with my own eyes, boy.
And these two men, and to you go like, what a funny story. And the anecdote ends. And these two men, white of face and shaking, climb back into the car, and they sit in silence for a moment. And they talk about the fact that they found a mattress in a pipe. And the young man is like, we have to tell people.
Yeah.
We have to tell people about the mattress that someone flushed down a toilet. And the older man goes, you'll say nothing. We take this to our graves.
This is the wild thing, because I remember when they pulled, it wasn't a mattress, it was a duvet. But yes, like when they pulled that
better,
maybe
slightly better.
Slightly.
Yeah.
When they pulled that duvet out, it was like black.
Yeah.
And they took it away. They took it in their van.
They have to contain it. They have to destroy it, lest the press find out.
Yeah. If people could know, if the general populace could know that you can flush a duvet.
Yeah. Is a duvet just like a kind of industry term for what you did?
What I did. I never beat that record.
No.
Yeah.
Hypothetically speaking, in 2 years' time, when Toilet Fun is the biggest channel on TikTok.
Biggest channel on TV.
Yeah. When this girl has billions of subscribers
and billions of dollars
to her Toilet Fun TikTok channel, and you started with skills and dolly mix.
She started so small.
So my question to you, Nick, is when you start to deviate and diversify, and you're like, okay, we've got to do different meals, we've got to come up with new things. You're going to try a lot of things.
Yes.
So over the course of her journey, what's the worst thing
to eat out of?
She's going to eat out of a toilet.
Oh, eat out of a toilet?
Yeah, this is what I mean. I mean, like, she's constantly adding new foods. You've talked about, like, you said, like, a bunch of sweets with cherryade. I'm like, that's pretty rough because it's coming out of a toilet. And then you said milk on a brownie. And I'm like, that is somehow worse.
Here's the thing. Whatever the meal is,
Yeah.
so I'm setting the rules now. Whatever the meal is, it has to have a liquid accompaniment.
Yeah.
Right. So, for example, cereal. Right? You could fill your toilet bowl.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Fill your cereal bowl with Wheatos, right?
Yeah.
The Professor's best. There's little brown gear wheels that the Professor loves so much in all his inventions. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. And then fill the system with milk. We've had milk before, but now we're sloshing up a chocolatey cereal mix, ready to start your day. Keep hunger locked up till the next shit.
Yeah.
So that's pretty bad.
You see, now I'm getting a memory of, as a kid, we got a sample box of cereal somehow. Don't know why. Of like,
Awesome.
You know, Nesquik, the chocolate rabbit.
Yep.
It loves it. They did a cereal which was like little chocolate balls.
Yes. I really liked it, actually. I loved it.
Well, here's where we differ
Okay,
as
here we
people. Because you know me, I like a plain.
Yeah,
dry...
you like a plain ball.
Yeah, I like some bran, I like some Weetabix. I like to take a twig from a lawn, just kind of dunk it in.
You don't even snap it.
No,
you just put it in whole.
No, it's just flavour. Yeah, gnaw the bark off. And we got this as kids. This chocolate bowl. I've never had chocolate milk at that point, and I still to this day cannot stand the idea of chocolate milk.
Interesting.
Don't enjoy it.
Okay.
And we tried it, didn't care for it.
Sure.
And we were like, oh, I don't like this. What do I do? Now I got a bowl of milk with like little marbles floating in it.
Yeah.
So we flushed it down the toilet.
Oh no.
And it wouldn't go away.
Oh, they float.
They float. The balls wouldn't float and they didn't dissolve.
Is this the origin? Because when I watched this video of this woman,
Yeah.
I felt a bit sick.
Full mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you described earlier how, and you haven't seen the video. I've only
No,
described
you described it. You did a very good job of describing it.
I'm really good at that.
Which is what's bad,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
But also, you said something about a visceral reaction that you had to just thinking about it. Obviously, we went very quiet on the podcast.
Well, I mean, we had to really just kind of ruminate on that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wonder whether, in a way, this has scarred you. What happened to you throwing that cereal down the toilet? You've now associated chocolate milk and cereal with a toilet, and I've just brought all that back up.
Yeah. Yeah, that really. I remember
so
that
sorry.
moment as a child. It really was my sexual awakening at the time. Yeah.
Yes.
That's when I realised I was sexually attracted to food in a toilet bowl.
I somewhat agree. Like. Not with that.
Go for thanks, Nick. Let's go half measures.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
No, like with the whole chocolate milk thing.
Yeah.
Like I like chocolate milk,
Okay.
but I don't like it when a cereal turns my milk chocolatey.
No.
Now that sounds really weird, but they're not the same.
No.
A bottle of chocolate milk made to be chocolate milk is one thing, but like milk that's had cereal in it. If I haven't successfully eaten all of my milk with the cereal, if I have milk left, I don't like drinking that milk.
No, that's the devil's milk.
Yeah.
Now. That has to go away.
Because it's got like cereal residue in the milk. So
Yeah.
it doesn't taste like milk. It tastes like a weird sort of wheaty milk.
Yeah.
And the chocolate milk that's made from, say, after Cocoa Pops or Wheatos is the same. It's not chocolate milk like you get in a carton that's specifically chocolate milk. It's like some weird devil's chocolate milk.
Yeah.
And it kind of turns my stomach a little bit.
There was a guy who I lived with at university.
Okay.
The laziest man I've ever met. And his gimmick was his shtick.
Everyone has a gimmick.
Everyone's got a thing. His thing was that because he only had 2 hours of lectures a week.
What was he studying?
History and politics, I think.
Of course.
Yeah. He would only get up like at 2 p.m. maybe. You know, I've never seen a man sleep that much in my life. And he would always just like kind of scumble out of bed in his boxers like 2 p.m, make himself a big milky bowl of cereal, have like 2 spoonfuls, and then just go like, can't finish that, and just put it on the side. And so the house would just be full of like half-finished bowls of cereal.
Oh my god!
More milk than man. You know, the ratio's not good. Yeah,
wasting so much.
It's horrible.
Food and milk.
Yeah. Oh god. And I think that really just cemented this idea that I do not like this second-hand milk business. It's not good.
I've got an idea of what could be really bad in a toilet.
Yeah.
A bad toilet meal.
Yeah, bad toilet meal.
What if you put a load of... It's ramen, basically. So what if you put some noodles, some prawns, a tea-stained egg, and a load of bean sprouts in the toilet, and then in the cistern you put some boiling hot, delicious broth, and then pull that lever to flood your ramen with cistern broth.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad, isn't it?
I was kind of thinking, I was genuinely racking my brains trying to think what, and the worst my brain has taken me to. Cereal's pretty bad.
Cereal is bad, yeah.
Ramen is bad because there's so much craft has gone into making like
I know.
delicious tonkatsu.
It's like sacrilege.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking like fondue.
Oh my god, thick cheese.
Yeah.
Thick
Goopy,
flush cheese.
Thick goopy cheese.
Do you think... I wonder... Wonder if it would work.
No, it probably wouldn't flush, would it?
It would probably ruin your toilet forever.
Yeah.
But I think in many ways we're ruining the toilet forever.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's ruined the toilet for me in general. I think I'm just going to shit in the garden from now on.
Shit in the cupboard.
Shit in the cupboard.
Why not?
No, that's true.
Up
yeah.
is down, left is purple.
Shit in the cupboard.
You know, yeah.
Eat out of my toilet, shit in a cupboard.
Yeah.
Done. Great. Do you want to move on?
I've got a hate.
Good.
I hate it when an advert is trying to be funny,
Oh no.
but really has to explain the joke.
Oh god. Okay.
So we're back to our old friend YouTube here, which is frankly where it could be, you can substitute YouTube for TV or any platform that has advertising.
Let's be honest, we never go outside.
No.
We never do anything. Chris Ray is the one who does things, and
I
that's
know.
why he's not here today.
Man of the people.
I sit on my toilet on TikTok. You sit on your couch, barely awake, in front of YouTube.
You sit on your toilet, shitting onto a 3-tier wedding cake.
It's the only way
Yeah.
I can finish, John. Okay? Stop king shaming. It has to be a wedding cake though, and they're so expensive.
So we talk a lot about like bad advertising.
Indeed.
Because we Chris Ray included, we all work in this
We
world.
kind of work in the advertising
Yeah,
world,
we've
all of
seen
us.
it.
Yeah.
We're on the other.
We know how the sausage is made.
We've been customers.
Yep.
And we've been makers.
Creators. Yeah.
Creators. Yeah. I can't see an advert now without seeing the boardroom
discussion.
meeting.
I'm the same.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
I'm like, they got here. From
Yes.
a group of adults chatted.
A group of adults.
Yeah.
I can't get past the initial brainstorming session now. So there's a couple of adverts going at the moment. There was one right around the time that like lockdown restrictions were starting to ease.
Oh, okay.
And it's all about like the world is opening up again. You can get out there.
Was it chewing gum?
No,
'Cause
but
they did one.
I know the one
Yeah.
you mean. Yeah, but it was like more importantly, you can go on holiday.
Oh.
You can go on holiday.
Yes.
Yes,
Because we've all been waiting.
because the holiday companies, the travel companies, have been shitting themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to use a toilet.
Because there's a bloody, I don't know, a moose bouche.
A Black Forest Gatto. Actually, my shits look like Black Forest Gatto. So
Yeah,
it's hard to tell
yeah.
with me. Yeah.
And so
They're very worried.
there was, I think it may have been hotels.com.
Oh, cool.
And there was an advert for hotels.com.
An imaginative URL.
And the gimmick was, the gimmick is basically like, what else could go wrong? You know, as in
right.
like, oh gosh. What they're not saying is my holiday got cancelled because of a global pandemic.
Yes.
They're going like, oh no, aliens have invaded.
Right.
You know, so it's always like, oh,
Something worse.
I'm going to book a holiday. Oh no, a giant robot is attacking.
Oh.
Huh. But thankfully, I don't have to worry about my hotel booking because of hotels.com.
Heroes.
There's a journey.
Yes.
It's shit,
Yes,
but there's
it's shit,
there's
yeah.
a journey. But the problem is, they came up with that concept, but then they didn't have the confidence in their concept to let the visual language of storytelling tell their story.
Right.
So this is kind of just cements it perfectly for me. That's the joke.
Yes.
But then somebody at some point in pre or post production was like, it's not clear enough what the fuck is happening.
Oh my god.
Let's have a narrator like literally explain what's happening.
Right.
So you've got like alien invasion. Yeah, all that kind of gimmick, you know. But then it's like what you could have had. There could have been a reality where it's like, what are you doing, darling? Oh, I'm just booking the holiday. There's nothing to worry about. Oh no, look out the window, and it's like UFOs. Oh no, but then the guy just smiles and goes,
It's okay, darling.
Nothing to worry about, you know.
My room is safe with
Click.
hotel.com.
And he goes, and then a voice could come up at the end and just go like, there's nothing to worry about when you book with hotels.com.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Fine, it's an ad. Great.
Done.
Visual storytelling.
Still garbage,
But they
but fine,
didn't
fuck
they didn't have the confidence. So instead they do all that kind of shit. But then a voiceover goes like, when you're booking a holiday, you might be thinking to yourself,
Oh my god.
what else could go wrong?
Oh god.
And there's another one, I know, and there's another one at the moment, which is, I can't even remember what the ad is for. That's how great the advert is.
They've nailed it.
But the gimmick is that doing our thing, whatever that is really simple. It's so simple.
Right.
The only reason you wouldn't want to do it is because you enjoy complicated.
Right, that's what they're trying to sell us on.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the boardroom meeting He goes like, what if we? Hey guys, I've got an idea. I just get a line of coke. What if we're like,
I am buzzing.
yeah, whoa, guys,
So anyone
well,
want some Nesquik?
you're like, what if? Oh, it's so simple. People only don't do it because they've got a thing for complicated.
Whoa!
That's a great idea, Gary.
Yeah, there is no Gary. Scene missing.
It's a great idea.
Gary's been dead for 5 years.
So the ad is, and we go like, it's so simple. Voiceover. It's so simple to book on our website for whatever. I don't know. The only reason you wouldn't do it is because you like complicated. And then the camera is showing a living room, and a man walks towards us, and he's wearing really ridiculous shoes.
Right.
Like just comically large shoes.
Right. And it's hard to walk in them.
Yes, and he shuffles over, and they've got bells on them, so they make like a little bell. And I'm like, okay, that's a bit of a weird punchline, but I guess
It's still working.
I kind of get what you're saying, but then the advert's not over.
Of course not.
And he looks at the camera and goes, I like complicated. These shoes take 4 hours to put on. That's the joke. Cut. Did we get that? And then the advert just turns off.
Isn't it funny to think that there's some really goofy, weird shit adverts out there?
Oh, yeah.
And a load of grown-up people had to spend hours
Yes.
to make that happen. And at no point in the process, because it was probably like a 3-day shoot,
Oh, yeah.
there was probably a props team that had to make those shoes.
Oh my
They
God.
probably had a couple of weeks to do that.
Yeah.
There was probably a storyboard. There was all of the production team. There was everything. There's probably a team of about, I'm going to say it, 300 people at least involved. And that's excluding the decision makers, the guys who came up with the idea.
Yes. The horrible truth is, you're right.
And that's what we got.
That's the joke. And it's not a good joke to begin with.
No.
And you had
then
to
they
explain
explained
it. I heard something the other day, and I found this quite profound, where someone said that one of the worst things that happened to the world was maybe around 20 to 30 years ago, people with advertising qualifications convinced themselves they were funny. And I was like, that's quite a profound statement.
That's very true, because people with advertising qualifications can't necessarily do anything else.
No.
And comedy or creativity
Yeah.
are two kind of independent skills.
Yes. And having worked in comms and a little bit of marketing, or having worked close enough to the marketing teams where I see what they do, it's amazing how little creativity there actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And like I work for a design agency. Quite often I make ads, but my background is creative.
Yes.
Like I learned about making things. I learned about telling stories. I learned about creating narratives with artwork. So it's like I've ended up in advertising, and I would like to think some of the adverts I come up with are okay.
Yeah.
Because my background isn't in advertising. It's in making fucking shit that actually communicates and works.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. There's so much involved to make a good ad.
Yeah.
And there aren't many out there.
And there have been some genuinely
good ones.
great ones that can
Yeah.
transcend
That
the fact
live on.
that's an ad.
Yeah.
You know.
But then you're starting to treat them like making a movie or making a TV show or something. You're using those sorts of skills, and like there's a famous director, and I can't remember his name, but he does a lot of music video. Did a lot of music videos. I think it's Chris Columbus. I think is his name actually. I want to say it's not that Chris Columbus, but he did like Aphex Twin music videos, and they're like all weird and surreal and stuff. And he did some ads, and they're really really good because his background isn't in advertising.
Yeah.
It's in making like interesting visual and creative storytelling things.
It's horrible to be, and this is the bit where you do kind of, I guess we are kind of blowing our own trumpets a little bit, because maybe frankly we can say this with authority, because we make shit.
Yeah.
We make comics and games and whatnot. We've been doing this for a long time
And
now.
we have to advertise them.
And it's annoying when you're the one vaguely creative person in a room, and somebody, an executive, a manager, goes like, why don't we try to be a bit funny? Funny. And then they're just like inches from my face going funny. And it's like, this is going to be painful.
Oh, God.
This is going to be painful, because humour, as written by managers, is not good.
And also, you're Mr. Manager. How
Yeah.
old are you? 58. And,
Yeah.
let's be honest, a gammon. Like, your idea of what's funny is going to be very different from what
Yes.
mine is. And you're going to charge me with the task, because I'm the agency,
Yeah.
of making your advert. And then I'm going to present it to you. And you're going to go, well, that's not very funny.
No.
And it's like, no, it is. You're just an idiot.
You're going to say, we've got to be young and fresh and hip.
But I know what that is.
We've got to be disruptive.
Oh, God.
So I'm going to hand it over to the young, the hip, the cooler members of the team.
Definitely.
Nick, do you know where they are?
I'll find them.
They're going to bring in the disruptive personalities.
Yeah.
And they're going to say, so you want us to be
You're hang on.
whoa before
Mr. Manager, sir, are you giving us the green light to be disruptive?
because before I take the chain off,
Yes.
I need to know.
Because I can't necessarily put it back on.
No.
And what you're going to get, it's going to blow your dick off.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
So,
I'm sitting next to you across the table, and I'm like, it will actually blow your dick off.
this isn't like hyperbole or
No.
allegory or analogy or joke. This is, your dick will be gone.
He's a creative professional. He doesn't do allegory.
Yeah. You have to realise that the price you're paying for this incredible ad is your penis.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. Let's go for it.
Yeah. But
Then I deliver.
yeah, just go for it, and I'll get signed off.
Yeah.
What's that?
What?
Nothing? No,
What?
it's fine.
No?
Okay. Yeah. No, you have complete freedom to
Complete
do
freedom.
whatever you want.
You have complete freedom. Yeah.
And I have final sign off.
What was that?
What?
Why would you have final sign off when you don't know anything? I mean, you've hired me.
Yeah, but
as the creator, like you.
Yeah.
Because you
no, and I get what you're saying.
No, and I don't know if you do because I'm just going to clarify it.
No, and I'm just gonna. I respect you.
Yeah, I can tell.
I respect you bringing it to the table. But I'm just going to completely shut down your opinions right now.
Sure, no, I'm used to that.
Because I respect you. I brought you in.
Yes, you did.
I want that fire.
You brought it in because you couldn't make the thing, right? You can't make the thing.
No.
brought me in.
Yeah,
No, that's not the reason.
I brought you in. I brought you in because our shareholders have acknowledged
Right.
that you can bring a certain pizzazz,
Certain fire.
a certain fire,
Hip youth.
and we don't want to dilute that.
No, you don't. No.
Don't want to dilute that at all.
I'm glad you're saying that. I'm
we
glad
want
you understand.
we want everything you can bring to the table.
Great.
However, I am the managing marketing director,
Not doubting that.
and ergo, it is my project, so I will get complete sign off on this. Yeah, but you have complete freedom to do whatever you want.
Complete freedom.
But
Yeah.
obviously, we've got 2 rounds of revisions,
Yeah. Well.
and
yeah.
I do get final sign off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So off you go. Come up with
Yeah, we're
something
on
good.
the 7th floor. Yeah, I'm just going to go out the window. Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, no,
yeah.
and thus creativity dies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every day, creativity dies in a boardroom.
Yeah.
Every day.
It's wild.
Well, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It sucks.
It's just kind of I feel like a day walker.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm caught between worlds, and I
don't know why it pains me so much. I think I get pain from a missed opportunity. I get pain from knowing because I work for a lot of clients and I don't give a fuck about any of their shit. I don't give a fuck about any of their businesses. It's all boring. It's all shit. I hate it all. I hate all of it.
Oh yeah. It's awful.
But
yeah.
I have to advertise their stuff and I have to create content and like materials that are engaging and exciting within reason, obviously. And they always have final sign off. But I don't care.
No.
At all.
No.
But when they dilute an idea that I've had, despite the fact that I really can't stress enough how little I care, if they ruin an idea, no matter how basic or simple or straightforward it might have been,
Yeah.
I feel sad in a weird sort of way because this could have been something. It wouldn't have been amazing. It wouldn't have changed the world. It wouldn't have even been good necessarily.
No.
But it would have been better than what you've ended up with.
But the collective. I'm not going to say that advertising is like high culture, but
No.
you kind of feel that collectively we've lost something.
Yeah.
Because if every good idea is tempered, like if every good idea
Yeah.
has to be dialed down
That's
to
it.
60%,
I think that's what we're talking
yeah,
about.
then as a whole, everything's mediocre.
Yeah.
Everything,
And-
yeah.
But the proof is everywhere.
Yeah.
All of TV is pretty mediocre. All of TV advertising, all of YouTube advertising, a lot of YouTube is pretty fucking mediocre because it's not just the edges, the sharp edges that get worn off of everything in order to make them a little more acceptable and a little more fitting into the world in general. It's not just that. It's that everything gets pushed back to this horrible banality and like genericness.
Yeah.
And everything is the fucking same. And that's where we end up. People say they want to be disruptive. People say they want to stand out. And when you give them a genuine way to do that, they ruin it until it's the same as everyone else's.
And then one company will come along where, I don't know, the manager wasn't in that day.
Cadbury's with a gorilla playing a drum kit.
Yes.
And suddenly everyone goes, oh, how did they do that? I'll tell you how they fucking did that. The manager was out.
Yes.
He was out.
And
The staff made a call.
And then, I don't know, every other company in the world is like, let's put a gorilla in the ad.
Yeah.
That's clearly how it works.
And of course it doesn't. Of course it doesn't.
Anyway, so yeah, like, it turns out actually coming up with a joke is quite hard.
Yeah, who'd have thought?
Yeah.
Except we do it every day on this podcast. Welcome to a show called Hate. That was just the prologue. See, that was a joke.
That was good, yeah.
See, yeah.
It's just funny, isn't it? Because, like, comedy and humour are two very different skills.
Indeed, they are. Two very different things.
Building a joke requires craft. It's like a magic trick. You have the promise and the prestige.
Oh,
the prestige.
the prestige.
But being humorous, lots of little observations.
Yeah.
Got to know your crowd, know your audience, you know. They are kind of skills,
Yeah,
you know.
I'd say. Need a spark of wit in there.
Yeah.
A quick thought.
It kind of goes back to like that TikTok thing. I get annoyed with all these conventionally beautiful people who've got nothing to offer. It's like, okay, great. You look amazing.
Yeah.
My God. You know, I'm sorry to be in the same hemisphere as you.
You should be.
It's a shame you couldn't bring anything to the table. Anything to the table.
Oh, they brought the idea of making a meal in a toilet. You didn't have that idea.
I didn't really think there was such a thing as an anti-idea.
No, you're
But
right.
It's now happened.
This is an anti-idea.
Yeah, it's like you've actually punched a hole in... Not you personally, but you did bring it to the table. Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've kind of punched a hole in the collective unconsciousness now.
Yeah. I think there's a merit to having the idea of an anti-idea.
Yeah.
Because the thing you did, no one else has thought to do, that doesn't make that okay.
Yes.
And an idea is an inherently positive thing.
Yes. It's not even so much that it's a bad idea.
No.
Because even a perfectly neutral idea wouldn't take anything away. It's like you've had an idea which has actually robbed us of something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. And especially yourself. Like, an idea normally has an impact on your life, albeit negative or positive, or maybe somewhat neutral, but it has an impact nonetheless. This has a problematically, if there was another axis, we need another axis to describe the Zorth axis.
The Zorth axis,
Yes.
yeah.
That's the direction we're moving in with these ideas, these anti-ideas.
That's got to be a tough one, isn't it? When you're like, Dad, look at this. I got 2 million likes on TikTok. Oh, Deborah, I'm so proud of you. Let me have a look. I'm dying.
I wasn't before, this was just my voice, but now I'm dying.
And just withers away to dust. Your sweet, sweet parents would turn to ash if they had to watch a TikTok.
And then she'd put that ash in a toilet.
Yeah. My
she'd
parents'
flush it.
ashes.
Oh my God, that's
yeah.
the one.
Got love?
Yeah, I do actually.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God, yeah.
I've been watching a lot of Star Trek Voyager.
Oh.
And my love isn't specifically Star Trek Voyager, but instead it's the fact that Star Trek Voyager is a very old TV show.
It is
I
now.
shouldn't- yeah,
Let's be honest. Yeah.
It is. But it's shot in 4:3 or 3:4 ratio. I can't remember which way around it is. But it's basically
2:7.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
It's basically a square. On my very large widescreen TV, there's these two huge black bars down the side because it's basically just a square, right? But the result of this is that in order to frame every shot with characters talking to each other, they have to be really close.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. Like, going back and watching shows filmed in 3:4 is really weird because, like, you know, Captain Janeway, she's on the bridge. She needs to talk privately. No, not even privately. She needs to just talk with her first officer, Commander Chakotay, right?
Yeah.
So she goes over to talk to him, and I am about 3 or 4 feet away from you right now.
Yeah.
And you can hear me fine.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And if anything, if I was any closer, you'd probably throw up or something. I don't know. But she, like, their noses are almost touching. She has to get so close.
You're so right. I never thought about that.
Because they can't, if they have a wide shot, the TV resolution was too low back then, so you couldn't see their faces. So they have to punch in. So you have to be like sort of bust shot upwards, right?
Yeah.
But then to do that, because it's a square format, if they were the same distance apart as a person would actually stand, one of them would be outshot. So you'll see, and it's hilarious. Like, just go on, any of you listening now, go on Netflix. I don't care if you like Star Trek or not, it doesn't matter. Just pick a random Voyager episode and watch the first 5 minutes.
Oh my God.
And you'll see them walk into frame, and they're so close to each other. And I notice it all the time, and it's so funny. It's like they are just all intimately involved with each other.
You're right. God, yeah. Like, I never thought about that, because people talk about, like, the different aspect ratios and how certain aspect ratios suit cinema in different ways.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And they do, like, obviously, a lot of TVs now are standard kind of widescreen, which is like, 1080 by 1920?
Yes.
1920. Is that 6:9 ratio?
Yeah, maybe?
People talk about 6... Is it 6:9 or...
I'm not very good at these ratios.
9:16. There's like some kind of like...
No, I think it's 9:16.
9:16.
Yeah.
Yeah, weird ratio. But there's also like super widescreen. There's
It's like a letterbox.
Yeah. And
but as a kid, I never understood why, at the time, why we went from 3x4 to widescreen.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it's weird that why didn't you just make it bigger?
Yeah.
In every direction, just the same format, but just make it larger. But I get it now. I think filmmakers were probably constantly frustrated at this format because they were having to push people so close to each other all the time. And I wonder if it's true for other TV shows made at the same time, filmed in that format. It's just I'm watching Star Trek and I'm noticing it.
Wasn't something like, I don't know, Friends, like a sitcom of the day?
That started in 3x4 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
that'd be worth watching again and just looking for this.
Or is it like if a sitcom, there's the classic like 3-camera setup, isn't it? So maybe it's less noticeable because you can be jumping around a little bit. That's not kind of the camera work that like Star Trek.
No, Star Trek's very, very dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
So it's very much like people in corridors talking about strategies and ways to reroute power through the deflector shield so that they can create an anti-pulsar charge. You know, that sort of thing.
I love that episode.
It's really good. Yeah, it's every episode.
But you're right, because I've seen like, I used to watch Star Trek back in the day. I haven't watched it for a very long time. But there's a couple of channels I watch where people are talking about, not every episode, but occasionally they talk about Star Trek. And I'm like, oh, like Red Letter Media, for example.
Yes,
like they love Star Trek. So
it.
they talk about these classic episodes, and I watch those videos. They're very entertaining, and I get like a bit of nostalgia. I go like, oh God, I remember watching that. But I'm now picturing like every clip they showed. And yeah, it's like everybody, they're not whispering, but it's like the proximity you'd have if you were, I want to tell you a secret.
It's like,
you know?
if you wanted to whisper in someone's ear and you didn't want someone else in the room to hear what you were saying, that's how close you'd have to be.
Yeah.
There was a hilarious episode where someone, like practically every episode, someone gets injured and they're on the bed in the sick bay. And the doctor has to lean over their face in order to talk to them and be in shot. So in order for us to see both characters, the camera has to be kind of on the patient's chest, looking up their body, right? But has to be quite close to their face because obviously we need to be able to see their emotions. So their head is basically in the very middle of the shot, right, and taking up about half of the shot. And then the doctor's head comes in from the top, like, ew, like that. And his nose is so, like, touching the patient's cheek because it's the only way that he can get in shot while we can see both characters.
And I guess from the actor's perspective,
it must have been mental.
From Robert Picardo's perspective, he's like, he couldn't... He's so close he wouldn't be able to focus on that person. So he's essentially blind.
And it's apparent. You can tell because their eyes sort of, when you get that close, it's way too close to focus. So their eyes sort of drift out.
Yeah.
And it's like they're not really looking at each
other.
Little
kind of boss-eyed,
yeah. But you can just imagine they did a rehearsal and it's like Captain Janeway standing next to Tuvok or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like they stand at a normal distance and the cameraman's just like, I simply cannot get you both in. You're going to have to stand much closer. And like Janeway's like, this is weird. This is like, if I stand here, this is weird. And they're like, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to. And now you can see it. Now you can see how weird it is. And it makes me laugh every fucking time.
You're come with me on this journey, but you're a connoisseur of handheld video consoles.
Indeed I am. Yes.
Have there not been a couple of generations, maybe of like a Nintendo product, where you could take like a Game Boy cartridge or like a handheld games cartridge and like click it into a TV console or something like that?
Yes, there have been a couple of instances of that,
and in those scenarios, where the screens were different sizes, you'd get like
A frame.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And the frame would often be custom to the game.
yes,
If you were lucky.
So yeah, little square and then a frame.
It sort of made it fit
Yeah.
the screen better. Yeah.
So my question to you is, you're watching Star Trek Voyager on a widescreen TV. How would you feel if instead of black bars, it had a really slow GIF of Neelix on either side?
Rotating.
Yeah. like a geosite, like a Web 1.0.
Yeah.
Like a
one full orbit of Neelix.
yeah, a full body low res scan of Neelix, everybody's favorite space clown.
Yeah.
Rotate. There's one on either side of a screen, but they're both rotating in different directions.
As long as there was one on both sides of the screen.
Yeah.
Because I think it'd be distracting otherwise. If there was just one on one side, that would just be weird.
Oh, don't worry about it. It will be distracting because
good.
they'll rotate like once, and then just for a second, he'll like throw his arms up in the air,
Right.
like way,
Way!
and then he just goes back to normal, and then he
Okay.
like rotates. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably find myself looking at him more than the episode.
And how?
I mean, he steals every scene he's in, so
Yeah, and how long is the average episode? Kind of like 40,
45, 50
45
minutes?
minutes. Yeah, yeah. So like kind of like at the 20-minute mark, like a little Voyager will like fly down.
like a toy-sized voice.
Yeah, but
to Neelix.
but it's clearly like a JPEG.
Yeah, oh, I see.
And it's just
So
going
like
like
2D.
click, click, click. It's just like moving,
Sliding around.
and Neelix's eyes will follow it.
Right, like he's watching a fly in the
Yeah.
room kind of thing. Yeah, that sounds good.
What's really weird is that occasionally a character on screen will actually make eye contact with the two Neelixes.
That's
at the side.
weird.
That is kind of weird.
Because they filmed it a long time ago.
Yeah.
So you'd think that wouldn't be possible. But
Yeah.
actually, the truth is they filmed those Neelixes at the time.
It is actually really weird. Yeah, they
Yeah.
filmed all the original episodes of Star Trek in widescreen.
In what they called the Neelix container.
The Neelix container, yeah. But then they actually had to cut. You know, they knew.
They were really disappointed that he had to cut it out.
They knew when. And the really, really weird thing is that, like, when Shatner and his crew were making Star Trek, Neelix as a character, they knew that Neelix as a character wouldn't appear on screen for another 30 years.
It's one of the most incredible, sort of like planned reveals.
Yeah.
In TV history.
Phenomenal, yeah.
Yeah.
So they had to film. They had to invent GIFs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had to film
Yeah, not many people know that. That's why it was invented.
two little Neelixes in widescreen, and then they literally had
That's what
to...
GIF stands for, by the way. Two little Neelixes.
Two little... But yeah, they knew. It's like
I think it's Neelices, actually.
we filmed it rectangular.
Yeah.
With showing it in a square hole. They knew it was going to get cut off.
Yeah, but
If
they were
your-
still disappointed.
Yeah, if your TV had been wider back then,
I'd have seen them.
you would have seen them.
And what a happier child I would have probably been. To be honest, I'd rather get rid of the two black bars either side completely, and I just have one black bar in the very middle, and that splits the footage, so it pushes the two people aside with a black void in between them,
Oh my god! I mean, suddenly,
and then they're the right distance.
suddenly it
apart.
looks really spacious.
Yeah, that's what I'd go for.
And then you watch the entire series. You watch the entire series in that format, and then someone goes like, "Who's your favorite character?" And like, I don't know, probably Neelix, everyone's favorite space clown, you know.
Probably Neelix.
And then like a producer's like, "What do you think of Blowbar?"
Like,
Blowbar, the
what?
communicator. I'm like,
Blowbar?
I've never heard of Blowbar. And they're like, check again. And they cast a character. There's a character. This is a little known fact. There's a character called Blowbar who's in every episode of Star Trek Voyager, but they always occupy the special window. Nick's special column, I think they call it.
I think they call it
Yeah,
that, yeah.
that's the dead space in the middle of every single shot.
And it's just coincidence that Blowbar is
Yeah.
always there.
Blowbar is always there. Blowbar's actually the most pivotal character in the history of Star Trek.
That makes sense because Voyager doesn't make any sense at all, and there's huge what I called plot holes. And I think I coined that phrase because it does like loads of things that make sense. And I wonder whether Blowbar is the answer to that.
Yeah, Blowbar finally filled that hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that explains why we've got that new show coming out just called Blowbar. Just called Blowbar. I wondered what that was.
It's called Blowbar. Blowbar.
It's called Blowbar.
Talking about like a show being old and not realizing it. I mentioned to you earlier that I've started watching Apocalypse Now.
Yeah. That's old.
Yeah, it is old. Yeah, a movie I've very much wanted to see for a long time. I'm an hour in.
Yeah.
It is actually good.
Yeah.
The hype is real. But dates and time are weird, aren't they?
Mhm.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
Because Apocalypse Now came out in 1976,
Okay.
and Lawrence Fishburne is in it,
Okay.
and it's like his first movie role.
Right.
And they filmed it a little earlier. It took a while. It had a long production thing.
Right. Okay.
But we were saying we were reading about the movie, and he was 14 when
Right.
they filmed the movie, and he lied about his age. He said he was older, so he
Okay.
could be in the movie.
Legend.
But we were going like,
What a hero.
and then we were extrapolating and doing the numbers and working out when he was born and everything. And then we were like, oh my god, when The Matrix came out in 1999, Lawrence Fishburne, aka Morpheus,
Yeah.
aka Big Daddy Morpheus, the
Matrix Popper.
Matrix Popper, computer pater,
Popper Virtual.
Popper Virtual, everyone's favourite modem dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
What we were like, okay, may have got the number slightly wrong, but he was like 33
What the fuck?
when he played Morpheus.
But I'm older than that now.
I know.
I don't look anywhere near as wise as
No,
Morpheus.
you don't look as cool as Morpheus. None of us look as cool.
Like Morpheus. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Morpheus was like a tank. He was like a tank man.
Yes.
But then also like a daddy wise tank man.
Daddy Wise Tank Man.
He was-
Yeah.
Daddy wise tank man.
Daddy Wise, comma,
You-
Tank Man.
He could punch through a wall, but he could also give you advice that would see you through life.
Yes.
And I thought he was probably at least
58.
53.
Yeah, and that only gets higher the older I get, because Morpheus must always be older than me.
Yeah.
I cannot
Yes,
be...
true, exactly. So as I age, I have to push him on 20
Yeah.
years.
So Morpheus was like 58.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was younger than me.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Yeah. And so we were having this conversation, Lucy and I, and then Lucy said, well, you think that's bad? The Matrix, the distance between now and the Matrix is arguably longer or exactly the same as the difference between the Matrix and Apocalypse Now.
Oh God! Oh God!
Because it came out in 76, and then the
But
Matrix
I think of the Matrix as a modern film.
I know. And then the Matrix came out in 99, so what was that, 23 years?
Oh shit!
And that's 23 years. The Matrix is 23 years old.
Oh shit! Ah, and Morpheus, and he's the Lawrence Fishburne is like getting older.
Yes.
How old is he now? He'd be like 60 odd.
Yeah. He was 58 when he made the Matrix. He's 60 now.
It's aging in reverse. Oh, that's meant. That's
horrifying, isn't
ruined
it?
everything.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's
really
ruined-
horrifying, yeah.
We're about to go on holiday for Easter, and you've ruined everything.
Yeah, and I'm not going to make it because I'm just going to turn to dust as I step outside this room. Excuse me, I have to die now. I got love.
Yeah, good. We need this.
So I've been doing some reading. I fell down a Wikipedia hole. And I love falling down a Wikipedia hole because that means that's just primo internet browsing time where I'm not on YouTube
One on John time.
or checking emails. That's just like
your
pure-
brain is occupied.
I'm kind of learning as
kind
well.
of, but it's usually garbage.
So I can't remember what started me down with. I think I was reading about like pulp heroes of like the 30s. So the precursors to superheroes.
No. Oh yes, yeah. Nice. Yeah.
So I was reading about the Shadow
oh yeah.
and
yeah.
the Phantom.
Yeah.
And Doc Savage.
Oh yeah.
And all these like characters from the 30s. So I was reading about Doc Savage, and this just opened up this incredible hole which I fell down. Because it said...
So wait, but just before we get into that, so Doc Savage,
Yes.
remind me, was he like a sort of jungle explorer dude?
a little bit.
Yeah, he was an explorer.
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember he has a torn shirt a lot of the
Yeah,
time.
I know.
Yeah.
He looks like he should be a jungle explorer.
Okay.
Maybe he did explore some jungles.
Maybe.
But
There's
his
only
gi-
so many jungles.
But his gimmick is that his dad was a scientist,
Okay.
and he was raised by scientists who convinced themselves that they could rear the perfect human
child.
purely through education and diet and training
And maybe some science.
and maybe a bit of science.
Yeah.
So he's not really like superhuman.
But he's maybe like the best a man can be.
Yeah, kind of like Captain America.
Yeah.
He's meant to
but
be
without any sort of serum.
Yeah, he's meant to just be like perfect physical accomplishment,
Maximum human potential.
but incredibly smart as well.
Okay.
And this is the thing that opened it. So I love the competent man trope. This is a thing.
Okay.
So it said Doc Savage is an example of a competent man hero.
And this is a thing.
This is a thing.
A type of hero.
And I looked it up, and this is glorious.
Oh my god.
This is a whole thing. And once you know it, you're like, yeah, I see it.
They're everywhere.
Before superheroes, like a hero,
Competent hero.
it'd be like, okay, maybe very, very, very rarely, like a pulp hero would have like an actual supernatural power.
Right.
Like the Shadow could cloud men's minds. That was his power.
Okay.
So he could like kind of like go invisible because he had mild psychic powers. He could make people like not notice him.
Okay.
And then he just had guns and he'd shoot people.
Yeah.
You know. But so many of these heroes, like Doc Savage, were just competent men.
Right.
Where their gimmick was entirely that they were just really good at a ton of other stuff.
Right, okay.
And some might say, because the writer was maybe a little lazy, they were merely competent at whatever was required
of that particular story.
to solve that particular story.
Yeah.
You know, and they'd often have, and these are all like these.
It's kind of like Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
Is he kind of one of those in a way? I know he's an alien.
Yeah, I feel like the lazy writing is kind of rising to the top there.
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like when it's very like 1900s through to like the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah.
But it's like
probably a lot of aviators and pilots and stuff, and like
and it's always just like you're just really good at a shit ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But also there's no indication of the amount of time you would have had to have dedicated to
like training
being
or whatever,
that good,
learning and educating.
Where he would say like, Doc Savage, 15 doctorates, and it's like,
hang on,
wait,
about 7 years to do a doctorate. So.
Yeah, it's like a master of kung fu,
hang on,
a mechanic, wait, hang on a minute,
can rebuild an engine,
a prime whittler,
yes,
yeah,
yeah, he's just got a lot of skills.
Yes,
got a lot of skills.
Do you have your phone with you?
Yes.
Because I realised I left my phone downstairs.
What should I look up?
Could you Google, I was going to read this out, but could you Google the competent man trope? Because it should bring up a Wikipedia page, and there was a particular quote I wanted to bring up, which I thought was quite interesting.
Okay. Hang on.
It's great audio. It's going to be awesome.
Ironically, I spelt competent wrong. Oh, for fuck's sake. Hold on. The competent man trope. Competent man, Wikipedia.
Yes.
In literature, the competent man is a stock character who exhibits a very wide range of abilities and knowledge, making him a form of polymath. While not the first to use such a character type, the heroes and heroines of Robert A. Heinlein's fiction, with Jubal Harshaw being a prime example, generally have a wide range of abilities, and one of Heinlein's characters, Lazarus Long, gives a wide summary of requirements.
Now, does it have this quote? Is it like in a JPEG?
Yes, a human being should be able to.
Yes, yeah.
Do you want me to read this out?
Yeah, please, yeah.
So this is a quote from Robert A. Heinlein. A human being should be able to change a diaper, plan an invasion, butcher a hog, con a ship, design a building, write a sonnet, balance accounts, build a wall, set a bone, comfort the dying, take orders / give orders, cooperate / act alone, solve equations, analyze a new problem, pitch manure, program a computer, cook a tasty meal, fight efficiently / die gallantly. Specialization is for insects. Fucking hell.
That's amazing.
Oh my god. Author Robert Anson Heinlein's famous listing of a range of competencies that his protagonist considers essential to be a well-rounded person. Good lord.
So that's kind of like, I love that is even a thing.
I'm just going to see if I can do any of them. Hold on.
Yeah, how many of those could you do?
I could probably comfort the dying.
Yeah. I could probably die. How do you die gallantly? Is that just not screaming? Is that the idea?
Was die gallantly? Oh yeah, die gallantly. I forgot that.
Yeah.
Yeah, die gallantly is when you die, but you don't fall over. You just die standing up. I think that's incredible. I could definitely take orders.
I could definitely take orders. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel with enough time, I could maybe. When it says butcher a hog, it doesn't necessarily say do it well.
Well, no, I could try.
Give me a claw hammer and a
Pitch manure. What does that mean?
Isn't that just like
Just shoveling it.
it's shoveling it? I could shovel manure. I could shovel manure.
I'd do at least 2 or 3
Yeah.
spoonfuls. Cook a tasty meal. I have done.
Yeah, I can cook a tasty meal.
Fight efficiently. No, probably not. You learn to fight, so
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know about efficiently.
Again, I could design a building, but it'd probably be shit.
Yeah.
But I'll do it.
I'm game. You could design. You've got penmanship.
Sure, I'll
yeah,
design
you
a
could
building.
do a
Yeah, sure,
design
fuck
building,
it.
yeah.
I'd probably learn to change a diaper. That can't be that hard, can it?
No.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're competent men.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
So yeah,
I love this.
But I've been reading about tons of these characters, and it's like there are so many which time has forgotten. You know, like countless, where people are just like, you know, you could just give them a name like, I don't know, Johnny Granite.
Yes, Johnny Granite.
Yeah, Johnny Granite. You know, Wizard Explorer.
Wizard mechanic.
Yeah, Johnny Granite.
Johnny Granite.
Wizard Mechanic.
Maybe that's the title of the episode.
but it would literally be like threadbare premise.
Oh, sure.
Where it's literally like a millionaire inventor Johnny Granite lives at the top of the Empire State Building with his 5 hangers-on
Yeah.
who worship him at every moment of their lives.
The top of the Empire State Building is a rocket ship. He can launch at any moment.
Yes, to go on thrilling adventures against his arch nemesis Johnny Foreign. You know, Fred Foreign.
Red Spencer. Communist from space.
The dastardly Red European. You know.
The dastardly European man. Oh no, watch out, it's European man. He's coming for us.
You know, and it's, you know, things look bleak for our heroes, and you know, causing one of Johnny Granite's loyal supporters, Stephen Weaksauce, to lose faith. Gosh, Johnny, I don't know how we're going to get out of here. If only one of us could reprogram this computer. Don't worry, Stephen, you fucking idiot. I invented computers. My gosh, you're right.
Really?
I forgot.
Is that one of your 17 doctorates?
I'm such a bally idiot.
Excuse me while I kill myself and
Yeah.
let you get on.
It's a simple matter of not dying. Oh, well.
Okay.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah. God, that would suck, wouldn't it? Being like
The sidekick.
a sidekick. Nicholas, hurry! The European man is bedeviling the American economic system. Quickly to Fort Knox. Yeah,
How are we gonna quickly get to Fort Knox?
I just like I haven't shat yet today.
And Johnny, the reason is because you filled the toilet with a cake again.
Yeah.
And I know you're competent, and you made a great cake.
Yeah, I want to go. Like Johnny, I want to go, but it's like 7:05 a.m.
Yeah.
and I need my morning shit.
Plus, it's rush hour, so why don't we just wait like 20
To the granite plane. Oh, okay.
Is that your stone plane that you made? I mean,
Yeah.
it's really non-aerodynamic. I don't think it's going to fly.
Yeah, to Fort Knox.
In the granite plane.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Is there a toilet on the granite plane? No!
Oh, Johnny. I mean, it's filling this chamber with the European man. He's locked us in this lead box, and it's filling with water, Johnny.
That's not water.
It's acid. Yeah, I'm dying, Johnny.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you weak, effeminate man.
Pathetic.
Because it's a simple matter of, you know, concentrating hard enough where your skin becomes alkaline. I can't do that.
Yeah, we've been through this.
I still haven't had my morning shit. I'm having a really bad day. Can I go home? I'm not enjoying this. Why are we being so racist to this European man? I can't.
Yeah. Like, this is just his garden. It's not like an acid trap. You just got into his pond. You didn't ask for this.
I was reading about Biggles.
Ah, yes. Is he a competent man?
Yes.
Although primarily pilot.
Yeah, kind of like
98% pilot.
I guess his superpower was he had a plane.
That's pretty cool.
And
I don't have a plane.
if anybody wants a good laugh, go read the Biggles Wikipedia page, because never has the Wikipedia page's author's voice been more prevalent.
Really?
Because there's a big section about the allegations of racism in the pages of Biggles.
Oh no, is it defensive of it?
It's quite a defensive tone, which are like, well, yes, I mean, admittedly, Biggles did refer to anybody who wasn't English as subhuman scum. But one really has to understand the context.
Oh, you've got to understand
the context in which it was written, yes.
You got to.
In fact, he once said he admired the Chinese, so maybe, yeah, so...
In one of the episodes, I believe it said, regardless of time that this is read, I am racist. And weirdly, I think that's just got to be taken in its proper context.
What many people don't realise is that the word racist was a popular acronym at the time.
Yeah, I know. Then, but you know, ironically, underneath it said, "This is not an acronym. I am racist." Yeah. So, I mean, again, taken out of context, it sounds bad.
I know
it sounds bad.
Out of context. That time where he described anybody who wasn't Caucasian as worthy of being killed before the glory of the white man.
Yeah.
That was, I mean...
But weirdly about that quote is that there was nothing before or after it. So there was actually no context for it to be taken from. That is, in fact, the entire story.
Yeah, it was actually kind of weird. It was it was really kind of just like a poster.
It was a poster.
Yeah, and I think it was signed by the author.
Yeah, and then underneath in brackets it just said racist, I think, under the author. So, you know, again, everything in its proper context.
I'll be honest with you, Nick, when the liberal media looks at this stuff, it's very easy to find things.
Oh, yeah, you're just always picking holes, aren't you? You're always just finding your little ways.
Fine,
Oh,
yes.
yeah, so I suppose everyone is a fucking villain,
I suppose
weren't
with
they?
a critical eye, even the racists look bad.
Signed, Nick Angel, racist. God!
Parentheses, racist.
Imagine signing off to that. Now, that's honesty. There
Wow.
we go.
Yeah. Don't agree with his politics, but God damn it, I like his candor.
God damn, he's honest. Yeah, wow.
Wow.
Well,
That was a fun episode.
that was good, yeah.
Well,
Suppose we've got to make that big decision.
I guess we do have to make a big decision. Nick, what do you think won?
I think love won.
I enjoy talking about love.
I don't want to think about what we had to talk about for hate. I don't want to go back there mentally. So I'm just going to stay here in the love land.
I'm at this weird... You know, you're at that thing where you're like, sometimes you come across a hate which is so kind of monumental. You feel you have to acknowledge that. But
is the best way that we acknowledge it is by saying that it lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I sometimes I would go like, that's so awful, we need to revel in it. And I actually... We joke, but I felt so profoundly troubled by this horrible TikTok adventure that I actually felt a little ill when we first talked about it.
I agree.
So I think love. It has to be love.
I think it's not even like I feel particularly loving. I think we just have to steer away.
Yeah.
We just have to look away.
We have to scrub the bowl clean of any residue.
So that we can fill the cistern